A very good afternoon and welcome to the Sugathadasa Stadium. We are here for the finals of the President's Trophy 2026 in this Dialog Schools Rugby Knockout Tournament. It is rarely that the season starts with such a bang, but it certainly has as we bring you Royal College taking on Trinity College. It's not the Rugby, it's not the league, it's the final of the knockout, and this is a dress rehearsal for what is usually the biggest occasion in Sri Lanka rugby. But when you look at the two opponents that are meeting today, it is a feather in the hat of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association for choosing to have this tournament before the league, because these are two teams that you may otherwise not see in this knockout tournament, and here they are in the final in this grand old stadium which has hosted many finals before back in the day and has now seen a welcome return to rugby. Appropriately in this Easter weekend, I'm a bit of a between two thieves. Abdullah Yusuf, the Royal College former captain, on my left, and former Trinity College hooker Sudarshan Piris on my right. Today's weather 31 degrees Celsius, but it feels a lot hotter than that. Mostly cloudy, and the wind very little to speak of, so that's not going to be a factor in the game. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Abdullah, it's early rehearsal for what is usually your most anxious part of the season, but it's come early now.
Yes, good evening, Ashanak, and good evening to all our viewers. Yeah, that's right. Very interesting matchup expected today. Much, as you very correctly said, much early in the season than we would normally expect. But there has been a lot of interest from both schools actually for this final, because it's been a while since Royal has made it to a knockout final. I think the last time it was way back in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, pardon me, 2016. So it's yet been quite a while. So Royal will be quite anxious coming into this match. But to their credit, I think the build-up to this final has been really good. They have played quite well, you'd have to say, without looking absolutely flamboyant. Game on game, they have improved. Relatively inexperienced squad this year, but I thought game on game, the improvement they have shown gives them a lot of hope for these finals against, you'd have to say, a very experienced Trinity outfit. So overall, Royal no doubt will be looking forward to this final and hopefully trying to get a bit of silverware earlier on in the season.
3 knockout tournament titles to their name, both these schools, Sudarshana, and they don't like being tied, do they? Either of these schools, especially against each other. So which one do you think is going to be the favorite to come out with the 4th title today?
Good evening, Shanak, and good morning, good afternoon to everybody from wherever you're joining us from. Like you mentioned, yes, both teams do not like a tie. This one is more than a final, because this is the first time the Rugby rivals are meeting in a President's Trophy final, and both teams will want to make sure that they put their best foot forward. Royal College, though, against Isipatana, showcase that they are a team to be reckoned with. From St. Thomas's in that quarter-final to the semi-final, their improvement was immense. Trinity was very happy with the result against a highly rated Wesley College. It was this quick tap taken by Udan Vijayakon really changed the momentum, because Wesley were really caught napping, and there was an opportunity that Trinity took by both hands. A feature that was very evident with both the teams was the fact that they kept coming back when the opposition scored. Isipatana were the first to score in that game. Second half, they were the first to score as well, but Royal kept hitting back. Trinity College, of course, comfortable win for them against Wesley, 49 points to 29, and Royal College 39 points to 13, absolutely dominated that affair at London Place as well. So to answer your question, I think it's knockout rugby. It's going to be decided on how the two kickers play, in my opinion, because that's going to be very important. Simak Shafiq and also Sean Altaf, 15 on 15. It's going to be a very interesting one to watch.
Certainly will be. If you look at those semi-final scores, very unusual for semi-finals. 20 points between Trinity and Wesley, a much fancied Wesley side as well. And Isipatana, knockout champions in the past many times before. They've got double-digit titles to their name. But in the end, it was a 26-point rout by Royal College that was not really, as you said, Abdullah, use the word flamboyant. They've not been flamboyant at all, but they've been super solid. And is that solidity enough to beat what is probably a more fancied, more talented, more razzmatazz Trinity side?
Yes, well, a key feature of Royal's performance in those 3 matches, although they have won relatively comfortably, as we can see from the graph on the table, it was also always built on a very strong defensive platform, isn't it? Royal's defense really stood strong. I thought that discipline around the ruck area was very good. So that discipline in defense is going to be really tested today against a very good Trinity team who has got a very good attacking game on them. So if Royal can maintain that same discipline, it will go a long way in them getting the result that they would like.
Exactly. When you look at Royal's road to the final, of course, you'll see that they've conceded only 31 points in 3 matches. And knowing the kind of taskmaster that Dushant Leuke is, he would say that maybe even that's too much. But that's something that we will have to wait and see whether it's going to be enough. But Trinity maybe have conceded a few more points, Sudarshana, but they are not a defense-heavy side. They're a team like Arsene Wenger's Arsenal of old say, you score 3 goals, we'll score 4. That's kind of the attitude that they bring to the party, contrasting.
Interestingly, yes, Shanaka, this season, but last season Trinity did pride themselves with their defense, and that's something that won them that all-elusive league. But this time around, they haven't been great with their defensive structure, which will have worried the Trinity coaching staff and the management as well. So they will want to make sure that they put up a solid defensive performance. Also, not having, especially in that Zahira game as well, not having their 2 wingers, 2 experienced wingers on either sides did open up those outside channels for Trinity. They plugged one with Amar Mansil coming in that Wesley game, but Wesley again managing to score 29 points. That will be at the back of their head, and also Royal would have definitely taken notes.
They certainly will. If one thing Royal does better than most schools, it will be their preparation off the field. And that's something the coaching staff led by Bhanuka Nanayakara, of course, is here. Dushant Leuke, the consultant, I'm sure he would have had a lot of input as to the strategy and what is going to happen today, the personnel and what kind of game plan they're going to adopt. Do Trinity need to change much? Sudarshana, they were very fast and open against Wesley, but it was a fast, open kind of game. It's going to be a very different opposition. Do you think Fazil Marijani's team would have needed to make completely different changes? Anyway, we'll talk about that when we come back after the break.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
ගෙවන් යන්න ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න ලොකු පොඩි හැම ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න හොඳම ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
ඔයාම කැපිලා පෙන්න ඔෆිස් එකට go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
NDB Leasing. බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන්. Electric, hybrid, petrol, diesel ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බර එකේ leasing. NDB Leasing. NDB බැංකුව.
Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Captain Cool, Captain Cool, Captain Cool.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB Finance එකට
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
සැරටම එන්ජොයි කරන්න පාටි එකට ගෝ.
Night Go Pocket Perfume Youth එකට go එකක්.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB Finance එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසිකූල්. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
A very good afternoon and welcome back to the Sugathadasa Stadium as we prepare for the all-important finals of this Dialog Schools Knockout Tournament. It's the President's Trophy final and it's between the age-old rivals Royal College and Trinity College. Not the kind of forum you generally expect these two teams to meet. It's not a familiar meeting between the two rivals because they're both usually not participants in this knockout tournament. But since the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association has moved this tournament to the beginning of the season, we are getting to see a rehearsal of the Bradby Shield. But it has been an outstanding tournament so far, and not just for these finalists, but we've seen some outstanding rugby from St. Peter's, from Wesley, from Isipatana, and also in the Premier Trophy won by Lumbini yesterday. And what an outstanding match that was as well, as we see the Royal and Trinity crowds preparing themselves. So what is going to be a big clash out in the middle for the next 70 minutes or so. Sudarshan Apiri's former Trinity hooker and former Royal captain Abdullah Yusuf joining me in the commentary box as the crowd looks on expectantly. They too are very anxious. Abdullah, we were talking about whether Trinity would need to change much against this opposition. We'll get your opinion first and then ask Sudarshan the same question.
Well, I don't think they'd like to change too much coming into a final, isn't it, Shanika? They have a formula that has worked for them so far, and they'll probably stick to that as much as possible. Structurally, I don't think they'll go too much away from their game plan. There could be minor tactical adjustments that they would make, having studied Royals' defensive patterns, etc. But on the whole, I think they will stick to what they do well, and that is go on an all-out attack game.
Sudarshana, all-out attack is what Abdullah is predicting. Do you feel that they will be a little bit more conservative against a very conservative opposition, or will they dial up the game a little bit more?
I think interestingly enough, Shanaka, for Trinity College, I think they have an opportunity to try and replicate what they did against Wesley College as well, because Wesley had a Rolls-Royce set of forwards and Royal does have a very good set of forwards as well. The biggest difference is going to be when it comes to the two teams, Royal and Wesley. Trinity were very mindful of the territory that they were going to work at. As we take a look at the results so far for Royal College, 34-13 against the Antonians, a little bit of a scrappy performance as the first game, although winning it big. And then against the Thomians, Shanaka, I think that game Royal didn't impress at all, but then come last week against Isipatana, it looked a completely different side.
Yes, it looked a completely different team from the one that played in the first half against St. Thomas's. They kind of lured the Thomian fans in and then just completely dashed their hopes in that second half, though. Patirana has been leading from the front, and that was evident even in the semi-final against Isipatana, which was kind of a win that you don't expect at this level, Abdullah, that 26-point win.
Yes, that was a big win and probably give Royal a lot of confidence coming into this final. But the good thing for Royal is it's been gradual improvement, isn't it? It hasn't been just off the cuff a very good performance and then just getting through the matches. It's been a gradual improvement, game in, game out. So I think on the whole they'll feel very confident coming into this final.
So Trinity's results so far, they started off with a match against Thurston, 38-8. A good first half performance and then a little patchy in the second half, and the other way around against Zahira College. They allowed Zahira into that game and then came storming back in the second half. But you look at that second column, Trinity have already conceded, if my maths is decent, 60 points in 3 games. So despite that 20-point win against Wesley, a good Wesley side, Sudarshana, there is a little bit of something that they will need to look over their shoulder about.
To come back to the question that you asked me as well, I think something that Trinity will be very mindful of the fact that is this Royal side likes to attack, their back line likes to attack, so defensively they will want to fix up, they will want to make sure that they mark them up one-on-one, because otherwise in crunch games like this, with difficult games like this, you got to make sure you are turning up. Trinity were there last year against Isipatana, dominated the game up until maybe the last 5 minutes, and in the last 30 seconds Isipatana stealing it 12 points to 19. So Trinity will have that at the back of their head, as they will want to make sure that they do one better. Royal, on the other hand, have already done one better. They went down to Isipatana in the semi-final last year. They booked their place in the final, and they will want to make sure that they lift this all-important knockouts trophy. As we take a look at the coin toss, which happened a little while ago. This is Patirana, the man spinning the coin. Altaf. Seems like this is Patirana has gotten the first win of the day, within and opting for side.
Well, just look at these two players, Sudarshana. They have been going against each other for the last 3 years, isn't it? This is probably the 4th year, if I'm correct, where they're going against each other. So they know each other very well. They've had some good battles over the years, and no doubt that today is going to be another one. Both of them leading their respective schools. So very proud moment for both of them, and no doubt we just want to get that first upper hand going into what could be many more encounters in the lead up to this 2026 season.
Both players were part of the Sri Lanka under-18 7 squad as well, Abdullah, and you can see that in this season a lot of friendships have been built around that, and that's what you want to see, especially when it comes to the camaraderie, because if you look at the fans as well, you will spot so many Trinitians in midst of Royalists and vice versa. As we take a look at the knockout champions, Isipatana College, the big miss of course in the final from last year. Won it last year, 2025, 15 wins for them. But Royal last winning it in 2002 under Sulka Hamid, and Trinity last winning it in 2011 under Murad Ramsin. Both the institutions, like Shanaka mentioned, haven't featured in this competition consistently, and now that they are in the final, especially Trinity in their second back-to-back final, will want to make sure that they change it to 2026.
So I'd just like to pick your mind on another small matter. Trinity last year came so close after coming into the final. do you think that could be at the back of their mind in order to, how would they make use of that experience? Would they use that as a motivation, or would you think that could be yet lingering on the back of their mind, or what could have been? How do you think the coaches also would have approached this week in the lead up to this final?
I think, Abdullah, in that game you could say Trinitians were looking like deer in headlights because they haven't been to a final like that. But Isipatana were ready to go. So now Trinity would be coming into this final with a sense of being there. We need to do this. Yes, that disappointment will be there, but the opposition and their livery is going to wipe out everything else. They are going to play against Royal, and every time Trinity plays against Royal, they will want to bring their game in.
The one thing that's going to make a key difference today, of course, is going to be the leadership, and I really like the leadership that both these players have shown. Shan Altaf has been doing his core skills really well. His legs forwards do the job, but from Disas Patirana's point of view, Abdullah, he's right there in the front of things. He's in the coal face of everything that happens, and I really like the swagger that he brings to this Royal side. He walks like he owns the place, and that's kind of something you want from your captain, isn't it?
Yes, and he backs it up with performance as well, isn't it? His ability to read the game, get himself involved in the game, lead from the front, that has been a big part of it, because this Royal team, yet it's relatively inexperienced if you compare it with the Trinity outfit. So his performance, being a fourth-year player, is going to be absolutely crucial. And in the three previous games, he has absolutely led from the front.
And yet again, kudos to, I think, Dushant Leuke, who has been grooming these players as well. Disas Patirana started off his career as a backline player. First year he played as a wing, then moved into the centre, and now he's really relishing his role as the number 8. Similarly, two other forwards as well, Metuko Vikramaratne and Senuju Ranasinghe for Royal. Both of them were backline players who have been moved into the forwards, and they were maybe just average and above average backline players, but they are absolutely relishing in that forwards role.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good spot as well to identify where talent can best be employed, and that's a coaching skill too. So plenty of camps in the crowd so far. You've got your Trinity section, you've got your Royal section. Unfortunately, the stands, the open stands that used to be chock-a-block when we used to come here for games under lights, when the President's Trophy, Abdullah, I'm sure you will remember it, when there were double headers that used to be played with the club game coming immediately after the schools game. That was some good times, and maybe we'll see a reversion to that with some cooperation between the Schools Rugby Association and Sri Lanka Rugby. Who knows? We can always dream. But coming back to that matchup, Sudarshan, that you were talking about, Achinta Jayasena, also in the number 8 jersey for Trinity, he's been showing real signs of maybe wanting to take this Aspatirana on and show some dominance today.
Yeah, Achinta Jayasena played in the front row last season and has been moved into that 8 position because he likes the role of being an enforcer. And then when you talk about an enforcer, when you take the 30 men who are going to take the field, this Aspatirana absolutely bosses that space. So Achinta Jayasena, I think, is a very good matchup. Although he might not have the same experience as Disas Patirana in that 8 jersey, he will look to try and limit Disas Patirana, because they will know the Trinity back 3, Hamza Abdin, Achinta Jayasena and Nisit Kumarasinghe. They will know when Disas Patirana gets going, that gives a lot of confidence to the entire Royal forwards, and they will want to nip it in the bud before it becomes a bigger tree to chop. The dignitaries being introduced to the teams alongside dignitaries of Dialog Asia PLC and also the Schools Association and the 2 principals of the respective schools.
The Secretary to the Ministry of Sports as well, leading the contingent, accompanied by the 2 principals. Dialog dignitary is also accompanying the party, and the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. We'll be very happy that this tournament so far has gone well, and good to see the talent coming through the Premier Trophy as well, isn't it, Abdullah? We'll see this grand final coming through, but some of the players from Lumbini, some of the tries that were scored, the quality of that rugby has been a real feather in the cap of the schools rugby scene in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the level of the Premier Trophy was, I thought, very good. Probably the only deficiency was the physicality disparity between the A division and the next year. But with time, I think that will also get better. But the skill level, the application, the passion, the determination, the commitment shown was second to none. And it'll be really interesting to see how Lumbini also match up in the A division, which they will be playing this year.
Yeah, Lumbini, of course, like you mentioned, Shanak, I thought were absolutely fabulous, and they have the belief, especially in that semi-final against Vidyartha College, where Vidyartha really pushed them to the brink. Lumbini College coming up victorious. They have a massive fan base behind them as well, which is also important for a school competing in the top division. So it's going to be a very, very interesting affair. Dharmaraja College will be considering themselves very unlucky, and also I think we need to speak a little about the Chairman's Trophy as well. Madina College taking on Maharagama Central, and after being down 5 points to 20, Madina really putting up a fight and losing it 19 points to 20. So it bodes very well for schools rugby in Sri Lanka.
Yes, and another interesting point, Sudarshan, maybe you'll be able to comment a bit on this. They say it's 2-0 to Colombo. Do you think it will be 3-0 at the end of this game, or do you think Trinity will be able to pull one back?
Well, I think everybody from the Central Hills will be hoping that Trinity will be able to bring one back to the hills, but it's going to be a difficult one, especially with the Tuskers from the Reed Avenue, who have showcased some real good defensive and attacking performances.
The anthems of the two schools.
Thy spirit first to life awoke in 1835 beneath the sway of marsh and book. Henceforth did Lanka's darling thrive. So that our fathers learned the way before us, learned of books and learned of men, through the wilderness day. True to our worship, yes, say out this day. We will learn of books and men, and learn to bear again. We live in a shed of forest strong, the path that leads to man's necessities. They have been made blessed, behold, they get thy turning violence. To that our fathers learned the way before us, learned of books and learned of men, to the
The anthems are done. The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is expectant. Everyone watching at home, whether you're in your living rooms in balmy, hot Colombo, slightly cooler Kandy, or wherever else in the world you might be. These are the men that are going to do battle now. Trinity College from Misla Pereira, Ritika Veragama, Nahil Jaya, Vihanka Idusara, Evin Jayasena, Nisit Kumar Singh, Achinta Jayasena and Hamza Abdin. Udan Vijay Kun joins forces with Abdul Malik in an unchanged halves combination. Sadisha Veeravancha, who we haven't seen much of this tournament, and this will be a nice platform for him to launch his arrival onto the scene. Kevin Veerakun, who needs to combine attack and defense a little better than he has been today. The captain at fullback alongside Dimat Ambepitia and Amar Manzil. Rodrigo Kausindu, Jayasingh Yain, Nazir, Fernando, Nimnet, Abdul Faisal and the young Paris coming in on the replacements bench. It's a team to be reckoned with, Sudarshan.
Unchanged scene from the Wesley game for the Trinitians, and we'll want to continue the good work as we take a look at the Royal team card.
Lemitamaru Singh, Metaki Atavara Ride, Mausuf, Nasir Hanifa, Metuku Vikramaratna, Anupa Vijayaratna, the captain at number 8, Disas Patrana, and Senuja Singh has been outstanding this season so far. Savista Fernando has been safe. Kavindu Hevage is a man who will need a lot of responsibility on his shoulders today. Hiruka Jayadiru and Pravin Nimsara have been very good in defense. Simak Mohammed, a lot of ball will come his way. Kayan De Silva has been the revelatory back today alongside Kavane Kanayaka. Karunawansa Nayanaka, Mudun Kotuva, Kotearachi, Hettiarachi, Ahmed, Lianage, Mohammed, Hiran and Pereira. Abdullah, you think that's the personnel that's going to do the job for you?
Yes, well, it's an unchanged team from the quarterfinals to the semi-finals to this final. So there has been a bit of consistency in selection, and they seem to have got their combinations in place. Remember, they're without two probably of their key players in Aman Altaf and Dinuk Pereira on the wing due to concussion. But the replacements who have come in, Vijayaratna and Ekanaika, have done pretty well. So all in all, I think they'll be pretty confident going into this final.
Well, you've got the best in terms of the match officials as well. Ishanka Bekun, the number 1 rated referee in Sri Lanka, alongside the number 2 and 3, Ravin Alexander, assistant referee 1, and Kalum Sandarawan at assistant referee 2. And they will be assisted by TMO, the vastly experienced Dilroy Fernando, world rugby educator. He's the man who has blown the field open in a few games so far, Kayan De Silva. And Trinity will be very mindful when the ball comes into his hands. Hopefully, this gentleman won't be called into action too often today, but when he is, we'll be sure that he knows what he's doing. And as you saw at the toss, Disas Patrana won the toss and chose the side, which means that Trinity will get the ball, and Shan Altaf will, in fact, Abdul Malik will kick off from right to left. Gentlemen, call it.
Wait.
They're both refusing, as can be expected from the Trinitian and the Royalist.
Well, I think you being the neutral here, and also they told me and you need to call this one Sanaka.
Thanks for that hospital pass, Sudarshana.
Yeah, absolutely agree with Sudarshan. It's only fair, I think.
Trinity by 5. As we have Abdul Malik dropping this one into the 22. And immediately, Jayadunu looking to take this one forward, showing a bit of attacking intent early on. Savista Fernando smashes into the very impressive lock forward, Yomit Vikramaratna. And Fernando with that box kick, calling for it nicely, was Udan Vijayakun. Abdul Malik stayed out of his way rather. But they will need a scrum half. Back to halfway they go. And now Vijayakun will look for his box kick. This was going to be where this game was going to be won and lost, as Simak Shafiq calls a fair catch early on, just settles things down.
It's two box kicks from both scrum halves, just trying to test each other. Thought Trinity were a bit indecisive when Fernando did the box kick. They let the ball bounce, but fortunately managed to gather. Simak, though, making no mistake with the collection. Not the best of clearance kicks, but managing to find touch.
Enthralling battle in the third row, isn't it, Sudarshana? Hamza Abdin up against Senuja Ranasinghe, Jayasena up against Patrana. It's going to be a really hard-fought battle.
It's going to be a very, very interesting battle, and here's the first line out of the game. And Trinity will be looking to play territorially.
Nice win at the front of the line out. Good movement as well. as Nisit Kumarasinghe carries it forward. Was in the number 6 jersey last year, has moved up a notch. And Udan Wijaykun, it's not a great pass, but still well dealt with. Inside pass just to keep the defense guessing as Weerakon runs onto that one from Kumarasinghe. Hamza Abdin wants his big forwards to take it on, and that is a superb tackle on Nahil Jaya. He's still got the ball available, and flying up in defense that time was
go back.
Jaiduni. Nice little bit of footwork that time from Trinity. Got a few phases together. Now they'll look for space on the outside. Altaf has spotted it, gets the fend in, but it's a lovely chop tackle on him. Was Senuja Ranasinghe. Smash back in the tackle once again. That time was Evin Jayasen. A superb defense from Royal. Trinity are controlling the ball though. Udan Wijaykun. Now they've gone to the short side but don't have a lot of numbers. It was touched. And Kandy Silva will concede the line out in the 22.
Well, there was a touch on the Royal player.
Looked very much like he did touch it, didn't he, Sudarshana? Let's watch it again. Malik calling for the short side. And yes, it came very clearly off the hand of Kandy Silva.
Thank you.
It's a shocking call from referee Kalum Sandruan, you have to say.
Royal making an absolute hash of that line out, and this will be very encouraging for Trinity. They're putting up a man as well, Shanaka, in contest, which is very good because Royal are near their red zone next to the 22 meters. But it wasn't the jumper that upsetted him. So this is brilliant from Trinity. They are in the correct territory. Can they hold on to a couple of more phases and make sure that they punch in those holes? They're looking to use their forwards, but keeping the backs guessing is going to be something very important.
Bhanukanane Akara entrusted with the head coach's duties. Dushant Leke up in the box somewhere away from the heat of the action.
Number eight. Keep your mind.
And first scrum of the game now for Trinity College attacking on the 22. Nice short side, but Jayasena takes it, hands it off to Udan Wijaykun, and coming into the line was Dima Tambepitio off the left wing. Nice handoff to Evin Jayasena, who carries strongly, and the other Jayasena, Achinta that time. Hevage tries to get his hands on the ball, and now just spotting a little bit of a gap was skipper Altaf on the blind side. Now they come back to the open side. Jayasena carries strongly, getting past the first tackle. And here's a little bit of space. Abdul Malik's a long ball out from Shan Altaf, but maybe it's gone too far. Bepitia does well to come back into the field of play. Wijaykun. A lot of space, but the defense has held up. Trinity hanging on to that ball through Nahil Jaya. And there was an offside call much earlier on, so they'll come back for the penalty.
Quickly taken by Udan Wijaykun, not 10 meters, so pressure on Royal College. Udan doing exactly the same thing that he did against Wesley.
Nice carry into the 5-meter line. It's been all Trinity in the opening exchanges of this game. Just a few meters short.
Hands up.
Jaya. Everyone's eyeing the lineup. Pick and go is the name of the game. Are they going to change direction, or will they keep going in the same direction? Senator Ranasinghe makes a try-line tackle. And here's the ball now available. And here's a lot of space. And Kevin Weerakon touches down for the first Amana Bank try of the final.
Fabulous work by Trinity. The build-up, the patience is what got them this Amana Bank try. It was Royals' indiscipline in that one minute that gave them the opportunity to attack with a penalty. Udan Wijaykun yet again absolutely brilliant, taking it quickly, catching Royal unaware, and Royal will have to be privy to that threat of Udan Wijaykun taking penalties quickly, because otherwise you don't want in this game, you don't want reduced players for 10 minutes, and Kevin Virakon touching down easy as you like. 5 points on the board for Trinity College, and the lads from Kandy are delighted.
Yes, you have to say, the longer you expected that phase of play to continue, it always looked as if Trinity was going to score, isn't it? Royal needed to try and intervene and probably just try and poach that ball from that one of those breakdowns, which didn't happen. Shan Altaf struck it really well, but unfortunately just missing the left upright. So remain 5 points to nil, but you'd have to say just the start Trinity would have wanted.
Well, that goal conversion going awry, just missing by a hair's breadth, one would think. But the assistant referee just under the post, and Kevin Virakon, a long line of Virakon brothers, and one of them touches down for what is the opening statement, which certainly won't be the final statement, but a very strong opening statement by Trinity in that first 7.5 minutes.
Going in the same footpath of Ryan and Warren. Kevin is slowly but surely growing into that number 13 role. Shanak, it's not an easy place to play at. Defensively, he's almost up there. It's just the attack that he needs to brush up on, but that score is going to give him a lot of confidence.
Oh, beautifully done by Sadisha Veeravangsa. We're talking about him before the kickoff. He's a guy that we would like to see really blossom in that number 12 jersey. Nicely stolen by Royal that time. Coming through was Methuki Yomith in the scrum cap. And here's the big man, Mauzuf. Lovely pass to Jaidunu. Jaidunu with some good footwork, cutting back in the field of play. Savista Fernando eyeing up his options, will opt to go with the big man Mauzuf. And now back from their kickoff. Trinity are in their 22 defending. Here's a skipper with his first carry. Presents strongly into Sadisha Veeravangsa and tries to set up an on-the-go maul. So defenses have been tested so far. Nice work coming into that angle. And now they go to the short side once again. Royal like to pack the short side. Smacking in there was Methuki Yomith. Here's a big hooker. Bandar. Here's a little bit of space for Have again. Nice little show and go. But just broke the first line of defense, not the second. Savista Fernando looked for an option, and ultimately it was the skipper who smashes Hamza Abdin back. He would like that very much. Savista Fernando again. Kandy Silva is absolutely hammered, but it's a tackle off the ball.
Yeah, very good by Trinity. Two men coming up to mark the man, but really didn't get the timing right that time. Kandy Silva being taken out. Interestingly, Royal have opted to go to touch Abdullah instead of going 4 points, and brings play into Trinity's 22.
Yes, the only reason I can think is Sudarshana. The Royal is probably playing against the wind in this first half, so 40-meter quick at an angle, probably a bit beyond CMAC's range. So I think that's probably the reason why they have gone to touch.
Well, that tackle was on the edge of legality there. But a tough one there for that penalty to be conceded, because both players looked like they had their hands on the ball. But 40 meters out, maybe just beyond Simak Shafiq's range, and that line out is much better from Royal. They go to number 6 and set up that trademark driving maul with Bandara hanging on at the back. Got some momentum now. Savista Fernando urging his forwards on. Bandara. They do well to bring him down in the end when he breaks away. And now it will be Themi Amarasinghe who gets close to the line, and he scored the second Amana Bank try to the big loose head prop Themi Amarasinghe. And this game, if it keeps going like this, is going to be very, very interesting for all of us watching.
Yes, well, Royal strike back immediately through Amarasinghe. But you'd have to say I was a bit surprised how passive Trinity were in countering that driving ball. Isn't it, Sudarshan? Maybe you can probably add on, I thought there are far too many Trinity forwards standing away without committing themselves to the maul. And once Royal got a bit of momentum, it was always going to be very hard for them to stop from that kind of distance.
Absolutely spot on, Abdullah. There were 3 Trinity forwards who didn't commit, and this goal conversion is through, and there goes the lead for Royal College. Fabulous stuff from Simak Shafiq. Difficult conversion, and he gets it through, and this is fabulous for Royal College. 7 points to 0, and it was Amar Singh, the big prop forward, just managing to go over on that second reach, and Royal College doing absolutely well. Trinity were anticipating Royal to break off that initial drive and come, which is why Trinity had some of the players on the outside waiting for it, but they had to make sure that they stopped the initial charge, because the best way to stop a maul is to not let it form, and that Trinity needed to do better.
Well, Amar Singh got through about 4 tackles there. I don't think Viraj Prasanta, who's sitting on the bench, will be very happy with that defensive effort, as Abdul Malik now kicks off. Goes a little higher this time, into the hands of Hevage. This one hasn't found touch, and Shan Altaf will be the man who runs it towards the touchline. Well tackled by Kayan De Silva. Abdul Malik finds himself in the thick of the action. Udan Vijaykur needs to find a forward to do the fly half duties, as Achinta Jayasena does well to get away with that. And now sanity is restored as the fly half finds his space. Altaf to the try scorer Veerakuan. He's up against a very impressive player so far at number 13, Praveen Nimsara for Royal. He's been a defensive rock for the gold and blue. Trinity moving it laterally very quickly. Nisit Kumarasinghe times the pass nicely. Hamza Abdin. Amar Manzil stepping in. In fact, it's Ambe Pitia who steps in. And even though they steal the ball, the ball squirts out into touch.
Turnover is good.
Yeah, the turnover is good. Very good continuity of play, because there was opportunity for Royal to try and pounce onto that ball. And Hamza Abdin's pass that time, I thought, was a bit behind Ambe Pitia, who couldn't build up a steam running onto that ball.
If you actually watch that passage of play, Hamza Abdin has a nice angle if he steps in off his left foot. He's got one defender to beat, steps in, and he's under the post. But like a good wing forward, he chooses to use his winger. Sadish Shabir amongst her. Disas Patrina with a try saver. Vijay Kun comes back short side. Lovely spin ball, and Nisit Kumarasinghe. This time the pass is not a good one to Dimat Ambe Pitia, but he finishes it, and it's another Amana bag try.
Brilliant stuff from Trinity. Helter skelter though. Abdul Malik that time, that pass. Dimat Ambe Pitia, how did you not put your foot on the touch? But Amana bag try number 2 coming in for Trinity. Dimat Ambe Pitia yet again in that same channel, same corner. Trinity seems to have spotted a space that's opening up. Kayan De Silva is fabulous when it comes to attack, but in defense, is there a question? Very well planned move by Trinity. They purposely overthrew that. Nisit Kumarasinghe there to collect it, and this has Patirina with a try saving tackle, but seems like the referees want to go across to the TMO and just check it, the grounding.
Ishanka, come in.
Well, they've got to run one of those horrible diagonal angles.
On-field decision is no try. Any reason for not awarding the try? Knock forward by Trinity. Knock forward at the time of grounding, is it? Ishanka, your decision is knock forward at the time of grounding, is it?
On-field decision is no try.
Okay, let me have a look at it.
Well, just to let you know, the on-field decision is no try. The referees have seen what they think is a knock-on. They've gone to TMO Dilroy Fernando.
Give me the in-goal angle, please, Director. In-goal angle, please. Give me the same angle again. Ishanka, for me there's clear grounding and you may about the try.
Yeah. Thank you.
For me there's clear grounding.
Well, where was Kalun Sandaruan? Because he is the man who was closest to that touchline and made the call. Because if there ever was a grounding, Sanaka, that was that.
There's certainly no clear separation, and there is a second Amana Bank try, the third in the game and the second one for Trinity. Both on the left-hand touchline as Shan Altaf lines up a potential goal conversion. And the man with the golden boot manages to get it through. And it's 12 points to 7. Both defenses have not done as well as you would expect them to do, but Abdullah, the attack from both teams has been very professional, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. But from Royal's point of view, I think they'd probably be a bit disappointed having conceded both these tries. This is a very strong run by Sadisha, just getting behind that first line of defense, and then from then on, Royal were always on the back foot. Just have to wonder, you're talking about Kandy Silva's defense, isn't it, Sudarshan? It just seems to get into a bit of a no man's land, not probably following his wing enough. Probably needs to be told to just hang with his wing to make things simple. As Trinity side to
wow, that was a stunning kick, an absolute stunner from Malik.
A monstrous kick from Abdul Malik, delivering an absolute monster, and there was no answer for Royal College. Royal know that this is coming. You saw, if you can take a look at that kick again, there were 3 players who went in for this Modeshanaka because they are anticipating this kick. But fabulous work from Abdul Malik, and this is going to really lift the Trinity spirits up.
Yes, wonderful kick. Got to keep in mind that he's kicking with the wind as well, but Mohammad Simak just absolutely, you have to say, has misread that.
So again, Trinity off the line out. It's their line out, remember, because it was a 50-22. They will pick and go. Maybe move towards that 15-meter line and then try and attack the short side again, which is a pattern that they have been using. Here's Jayasena, the other number 8. Here's Sadisha Veeravangsa. Makes the ball available, but good competition at the breakdown. They know how dangerous Patirana is. They want to take him out of the game, and it's quick ball now for Jayasena. Jayasena running into Kandy Silva. Lovely hands from Jayasena, and it's going to be Dima Tambepitia who makes sure there's no doubt about the grounding this time, and he gets a double. The third Amana Bank try for Trinity.
What a brilliant offload. That's what created that. I think it was Jayasena, wasn't it? Just drew 2 players in, offloaded brilliantly, and once again Royal on that left flank found wanting ample numbers, and Ambepitia probably won't score 2 easier tries in his rugby career. But let's just look at this wonderful offload. Committed 2 players, and again just wonder, Kandy Silva, I wonder why he's so much infield trying to defend without safeguarding his channel. He was even inside the 2 centers, isn't it? So bit of defensive misalignment, you'd have to say, by Royal. Something they'll need to sort out soon. As Shan Altaf strikes it brilliantly well, curves it in, but just goes across the post. But nonetheless, Trinity have gone into a 17 points to 7 lead, and have to say we'll be pretty pleased within this first quarter of how things have gone. As we have a look at that once again, 2 players, Kandy Silva inside there, not quite sure why, and Ambepitia this time grounds it right in front of everyone to make sure that there's no doubt whatsoever.
Kick off by Royal, and now Trinity with their tails up. It was Jayasena, Evin Jayasena, and it was Abdul Malik's thumping kick that set that try up, and that time it was taken back. He's made a mistake off that, taken back, and he's kicked it out on the full.
Opportunity now for Royal, and it's very, very important that they strike now. But Shanaka, while Trinity will be delighted of that earlier 50-22, I do have questions though, because the rule of 50-22 is that you got to make the ball bounce inside the opposition 22. You can't kick it out on the full, and that time it did not bounce as well. So ideally it shouldn't have come towards Trinity, and the ball should have been awarded to Royal and not Trinity, as Royal set it up and better pressure from Trinity, but the Royal Maul is still going.
Here's the Maul, and he's driving all the way forward, and it's over the line, and it's a score. That's easily done by Royal. Their second Amana Bank try. It's a try fest here. We've seen 5 tries scored and barely 20 minutes on the clock, and the Amana Bank are certainly getting value for their money from this final.
As well, a dot occasion, I don't think you can blame the Trinity 8. I thought they did commit themselves to defending that driving Maul, but again, the technique and the power of the Royal 8 is pretty much unstoppable. This time, Trinity, though, Sudarshana, they did commit to it, got that initial drive in, but again, it's just that the slight wheel which managed to defeat the Trinity counter Maul. And again, once they got a bit of momentum, it was pretty much impossible for Trinity to deprive Royal of a try.
A bit of a catch-22 situation, isn't it, as we take a look at the conversion from Shafiq, not successful. A bit of catch-22 situation, isn't it, Abdullah, because when Trinity commit all 8 into that Maul, when Royal does change direction, there's nobody to try and flank that. But if you don't commit people, you are going to give them momentum, and after you give momentum to a side like Royal who's set up a Maul, it's always difficult to stop. But if you are a neutral, if you are a fan of rugby watching us from anywhere around the world, this is how final footy needs to be played. 12 points to 17, absolutely nothing between the two teams, and we are in for a short hydration break as we take a look at the first score by Trinity College. All 3 of Trinity's tries coming in the same channel. That will be a cause of concern for Royal College.
Certainly will, and all the tries from Royal also. Lovely conversion, goal conversion by Simak Shafiq there from the touchline. And then this is the pass from Abdul Malik. Ambe Pitia scoring the first of his tries, nicely converted with another goal conversion by Shan Altaf. And here's that beautiful offload from Achinta Jayasena, lovely hands. And Shan Altaf finding his winger. Ambe Pitia making sure that there was absolutely no separation. And this was that Maul that was just driven off. Senuja Ranasinghe at the front. They fishtailed it a little bit, and they managed to bring it right back. And Trinity's forwards couldn't get back fast enough. But you have to say that the tries that have been scored by Royal, Abdullah, Trinity's forwards will think that the defensive effort could have been better.
Ready?
Yes, particularly in the first Maul, but I thought second Maul they did commit, but that was just the brilliance of Royal's Maul, isn't it? They understood when they needed to change direction, and once they did that to perfection, Trinity were just found a bit wanting on that right hand side of the Maul.
Kudos to forwards coach Azmir Fajruddin, who I'm sure has done countless numbers of hours on that driving Maul, as Heberge clears only as far as Shan Altaf, who's quick to counter-attack. And that might have been a bit of a clash there. We'll have to maybe have a look at that. And that's taken forward by Misala Pereira. There's space now, Trinity running that nice unders line as Kevin Virakon puts a fend in, but can't get past Jaidinu. Nice run by Evin Jayasena, the youngster. Inside to Achinta, and Royal shooting up in defense as they have done, using a few of those third row forwards to really shoot up in that second or third spot in the defensive line. Royal's defense on the fringe really strong. And Udhan Vijayakul maybe will have a think about a box kick this time. Sadisha Veera, some lovely hands once again, and Shan Altaf gets away from the first tackle. Just can't get it away to Ambe Pitia. And Altaf now needs a little bit of help, and yes, that was isolated. Well done that time by Hanifa. to get over that ball and forced a penalty.
Very good work by the Royal defence that time, making sure that they intervened at the correct time. Altaf's pass, I thought, was much to be desired. Ambe Pitya hasn't been getting the service that he deserves to get in the wing, and yet again there was a gaping hole here. And I think, Shanaka, the reason is Royal is anticipating Trinity to kick the ball, where Trinity is very happy to keep it in their hand in the amber zone. Hamza Abdin that time recycling that ball, although massive shouts are coming out from the spectators for a knock-on.
It wasn't a knock-on, and we'll show you that again. Referee Shankar Bekun right on the spot. And now Kandy Silva will have an opportunity to make amends. And that's a loose pass right across the face of the 22. And Ahmad Manzil will try to make sure Ekanayaka doesn't get too much distance, which he does. Straight over the top goes Trinity's defence, and Savista Fernando makes a run. I'm not sure that was the right call from the scrum half, who would have wanted to clear his lines, but this has Patirana X. And that time it's Themi Amarasinghe, the try scorer, who's knocked back by Trinity's defence, and Savista Fernando looks for the box kick. It falls nicely for him. And Abdul Malik needs some support, which he eventually gets. Royal desperately trying to counter-ruck over that ball, and Trinity's forwards eventually getting back as Jayasena now carries strongly forward. Vijay Kuhn will think about another box kick. He's looking for exactly where he's going to put it, but it was nicely read by Royal that time. And Savista Fernando hands it off to Kandy Silva, who's seen some space. Senuja Ranasinghe, it's Havage in support, and Jayaduni is knocked forward as Jayasena once again carries strongly. The second row has been in the thick of the action, but maybe the referee will come back for the knock forward. Yes.
Some good continuity by referee Abekon despite the mistakes from both the teams. Trinity, I think, needs to settle down a little bit. They're looking to play expansive, but they're not earning the right to go wide. Shanaka, they're not getting their forwards committing the opposition forwards, and Royal on their lines. You can see the moment Kandy Silva has some pace and space, he looks absolutely threatening, and this is what started off everything. Not finding touch, and Abdin letting it bounce.
It come off as his hands touched the floor, and he regathered the ball before it hit the ground again, as Kandy Silva now puts the pedal to the metal. That's a lovely pass in front of Ekanayaka. Ekanayaka, does he have that's footwork to beat the one man? Just not enough as Royal flood the breakdown. Nimsara is over.
I believe that he may have lost it forward. He is protesting, saying Shan Altaf hit my hand, and that is completely legal, because when you're carrying the ball, the opposition is going to try and dislodge it as referee goes to the table.
So your on-field decision is? Okay, let me have a look at the grounding. So your on-field decision is no try. Let me have a look at the grounding.
Here's Nimsara going for the corner.
Clearly he knocked forward. It's a knock forward, so the grounding is not clear.
Thank you.
Well, it really beats me. Yes, Dimatambe Pitya scored twice like that, but so close to the line, defender on you. Why do you not carry it with two hands and touchdown? That's one mistake. Shanaka's favorite All Black lost his jersey.
Not soon enough.
Rico Ioane tried doing that and really bombed one of the All Black games, and here Royal learning the hard way. They will get ball back, they will get possession back through a goal line dropout. but that was a golden opportunity to equalize.
Absolutely, was good work from Ravin Alexander right on the spot. He called it immediately, and they checked with Leroy Fernando. Abdullah, how much could that cost Royal in the end?
Time will tell. Shanaka. As Altaf restarts, probably not one of the better restarts. Hevage breaks one tackle and loses the ball in contact.
Well, that was a clear knock on, so referee Shankar will come back for that scrum. Yeah, it was an ugly old kick, wasn't it? Not sure whether it was deliberate, but it looks like they're struggling a little bit with the ground, isn't it, Abdullah? There seems to be a little bit more sand than the players are used to. It might be not coming off the floor as much as they like.
Yeah, Shanak, I think that's a very, very evident factor here at Sugathadasa as Trinity make a very surprise change. Sadish Veeravansa has been called to the bench with a replacement coming in place. Ridmanim Net, I believe, is the man who's come on to that number 12 position.
Altaf takes his time getting that kick away, but it's a big one. Kandy Silva read this one, and now will look to get a little bit straighter, but Hamza Abdeen warned off that ball. He complies. Ranasinghe hasn't had a chance to do much running in those tram lines, which he loves to do. And Savista Fernando now will return the favour with a box kick. It's a high kick, but not enough chasers under it. Shan Altaf runs straight into Kayan, breaks two tackles now. Misala Pereira puts his head down and runs route one. And quick kick from Udan Vijayakun into space. Abdeen called it. Beautifully taken by Hamza Abdeen. One-handed pickup. Nisit Kumarasinghe is with him. Jayasena. And the Royal defensive line has been called offside, but Trinity will want to play this advantage and chance it. Abdul Malik with a lovely kick. Is it too far? Yes, it's just... Oh my goodness, what a brilliant try. Ravin Alexander puts his thumb up, and it looks like Amar Manzil has absolutely trapeze artist on that touchline to touchdown. What a brilliant Amana Bank try.
Oh, fabulous. Just fabulous. Take a look at this one. This one is going to go into the season's replay. Beautiful kick by Malik, who is used to the large in goal of Palikale. But Mansil, beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at Sanushka Bevikrama. He is overjoyed. And Amana Bank try number 4 for Trinity College. And that is brilliant work. Udan Vijayakun yet again starting it off on the short side. Saw that there was Kandy Silva was missing in covering that area, and Hamza Abdeen very good collection and quick ball coming out. Royal entire defensive line caught offside, and Trinity absolutely bossing that move.
Just for a moment I was wondering whether that was the correct option, because they had massive numbers out wide, but the bounce of the ball favouring the Trinitians, and Manzil. Also the presence of mind, isn't it? He had the dead ball line as well as the sideline to keep in mind. And wonderful awareness by the Trinity wing three-quarter. Just the balance and the sense to keep his composure. Wonderful bit of skill by the Trinity wing three-quarter.
I think the word is proprioception, Abdullah, to know exactly where your body is in space and how to make sure you get the most out of it. Fantastic work from Manzil there. And equally good work by Hamza Abdeen to make sure he came down safely. Let's not forget his one-handed pickup of that little chip kick that Udan Vijayakun put in, as Savista Fernando, in fact Sifak Shamik thinks about the counter-attack and does exactly that. Pass seems to have gone forward, but referee will play advantage as Vijayakun has a good ball for Shan Altaf to kick into space. Royal are very narrow once again, and Altaf will hand it over to Malik. Malik will go under the post. No, he'll score midfield, but he'll score nevertheless. And it's a double blow from Trinity. And Royals fans hang their heads as another Amana Bank try goes into the T column on the scoreboard at Sugathadasa.
Well, when Trinity scores, they do it in double. 2 back-to-back scores yet again. Amana Bank try. Abdul Malik slightly winded, but Sean Altaf recognized that Simak Shafiq carried the ball forward. Kandy Silva nowhere to be seen, collects his own kick, and Abdul Malik little bit of a goosey, and then he goes all the way, little winded, with the ball being caught in between the ground and his chest. But this is fabulous from Trinity College. Brilliant first half. Need to make sure that they back it up in the second as well, because despite the lead, Royal are not going to sit down and give it to them in the second half. They need to make sure that they pace themselves well. It's the 4th time Shan Altaf is taking a conversion from this corner, Shanaka. Last time around it was so very close. Can he get it through? But this time he gets the direction a little too weary. Tries to pull in it towards the left upright. So the goal conversion is not successful. 27 points to 12. Who would have thought that Trinity will be with a massive lead like this? Nobody.
Terrible defense into that chip kick. Savista Fernandez should probably have been running that line, but Kandy Silva just allowed the ball to bounce, and as soon as you do that in that part of the field, Abdullah, there's absolutely no chance. And a lovely little stutter step from Abdul Malik to get away from Jayadinu. Short pace that is quite deceptive. Here he is once again, fresh from that try, as Evin Jayasena, who has carried plenty of balls so far, does so again. That's a raking kick all the way down to the 22, and Simak Shafiq has to juggle it before he finds the safety of the touchline, and they'll need to settle down. Well, in fact, it hasn't gone into touch. Yes. No, it hasn't. And Udan Vijayakun now looks for a willing runner, and Jayasena has been exactly that. Here it is for Sadisha Veerawangsa. In fact, it's Ritika Veragama. Nishit Kumar Singh. Sorry, it's Bilal Nazir by the looks of things. Trinity keep breaking that first line of defense as Savista Fernando dances out of a couple of tackles, and Kandy Silva will try to do a bit more with the ball than he has done without it. Nice hands from Disas Patirana. A little risky in that part of the field, but Themi Amarasinghe carries strongly, and Savista Fernando will eventually put it high up. But this is not what you want to do to Sean Altaf, who's got his tail up now. Nice attempt at tackle by Senaja Ranasinghe, slows down the Trinity fullback, but not enough, as Misala Pereira is hammered hard by the onrushing Vikramaratne. Let's have a look at that one again, see exactly what happened as Jayasena gives away pretty obvious penalty. Ishank Abekon asking Disas Patirana to please tell the team manager to calm down a little. And Simak Shafiq being given the duties to kick to touch after Heberge's little grubber from last time.
This is interesting that from the breakdown, Udan Vijayakon is just looking at that chip. He's probably found a bit of a chink in Royal's armour in that between Mohammad Simak and Kandy Silva. Bit of indecision under the high ball. So repeatedly looking at that option, as you can have a look at that once again. Just sees a bit of space there. This time though, Simak was in place, or rather Fernando.
Closing the gap. Trinity too eager. Hamza Abdin that time. Last play of the game, so Royal need to make intelligent decision. I believe this has Patirana will won this one, and he does.
He's met strongly by Nishit Kumarasinghe, one of the standout players for Trinity last year. Needs to do the same again this time. Jayasena does well to bring that player down safely, as Yomit Vikramaratne carries that time. They're under a penalty advantage, Trinity, so they'll concede that penalty to Royal, who will, for the last play of this game, get an opportunity to go to the corner, Abdullah.
Number 11, playing their tackle, just a penalty on.
Yeah, Trinity now, couple of the occasions haven't gotten their timing right, and that's not very good. As Akash Fernando looks on eagerly. A starter last season, have been coming on from the bench, so a lot will be expected of him, especially when it comes to line out time, because Royal, their two scores have come from rolling mauls and line out, so that's an area Royal will look to try and put pressure on Trinity. And one score here, Amana Bank try here just before half time, is going to be just what the doctor ordered for Royal College.
It'll bring them within single digits for sure. That's something that Royal will be desperate for, as Senaja Ranasinghe takes it. They choose not to engage, but eventually they do, which is a little pointless, because they needed to go in for a chop tackle if they were going to stand off that ball. But somehow they've managed to create a bit of trouble, and Hamza Abdin prevents the ball from coming out, as he's entitled to do. And Trinity celebrate defending that maul as if they've won the game already. And that's half-time in what has been a stunning half of rugby.
Fabulous half of rugby, hasn't it been? I mean, despite the 15-point difference, Shanika, both teams throwing punches at each other, one after the other. It has been an interesting one. Both teams will want to make sure that they settle down in the second 35, because knockout rugby delivers some real drama when it comes to the 70 minutes. Halftime confirmation, 12 points to 27. Trinity College in the lead.
Well, it's a 15-point gap, but that's not much, because Royal, our strong second half team, will bring you all that action when we come back after the break.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් quotation එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි. ඔයාම කැපිලා පෙන්න ඔෆිස් එකට ගෝ.
Night Go. Pocket perfume. Youth එකට go එකක්.
මාස 24ක් දක්වා ගෙවීමේ පහසුකම් සමගින් මාසික වාරකයේ රුපියල් 4999යි. අබාන්ස් ජාතියේ පරිගණක සැපයුම්කරු.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
Let's KFC. Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right. Real energy.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
NDB Leasing. බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන්. ඉලෙක්ට්‍රික්, හයිබ්‍රිඩ්, පෙට්‍රල්, ඩීසල් ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්මරේකේ ලීසින්. NDB Leasing. NDB බැංකුව.
Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
Abans fridge කියන්නේ. Abans fridge කියන්නේ. පවුලට හරිම fridge එකක්. Abans family එකට හරියන අපේ රටේ fridge එක.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
එයාව හැල්ල බලන්න ක්ලාස් එකට go.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume youth එකට go එකක්.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Rugby,
live rugby.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Very good afternoon and welcome back to Live Pictures here. Ishan Kabeko, the man who's controlled the first half that has yielded a bucket full of tries in this knockout final between Royal and Trinity. Royal now playing with the wind at their back. Let's see whether that makes a little bit of a difference for them as Shan Altaf puts the first kick out into touch on the halfway line. Disas Batirana would have given his team an absolute earful at half-time. Would have received one as well probably. But they will need to shape things up very quickly in defence if they are to chip away at this 15-point lead.
That is going to be very important. Royal boss possession. They were deprived of it in the first 35. And I thought Trinity, with their defensive lapses, despite the lapses, they've managed to make sure that they put pressure on Disas Patirana. Yet again Trinity guilty of closing the gap. Second time that they've been found guilty of it. So need to be on notice.
Well, they have to be a little careful. Ravin Alexander spotted it and Hamza Abdin may have a penalty against him if he keeps going. But it looks like Disas Patirana has decided he's got to take matters and the ball into his own hands. You'll see him carrying a little bit more strongly in the second half, I'm sure. As Nimsara steps again. Jaidunu, in fact, in the number 12 jersey. And Simak Shafiq at first receiver. Royal with a little bit of ball now. Didn't really see them with much of it in the first half.
Going off it, release. Going off it.
Savista Fernando. Lovely pass from Disas Patirana out in front of Themi Amarasinghe, but the loose head prop can't do much with it. Advantage over as a lovely offload again from Shan Altaf to Evin Jayasena. Trinity are throwing it around like a hot potato, and you have to say it has worked so far. As Amar Manzil, it's a kick pass. It might as well have been a pass because it went backwards. Udan Vijayakun with the little chip over the top. Well read that time, but they'll come all the way back for the advantage.
Trinity creating trouble in the Royal defensive line. They know that Royal like to come up in their defense. Their defensive line speed is going to be very good, but here is a decision to be made. It's in the kicking range of Shan Altaf, but seems like they've decided they're going to the corners, Shanaka, especially given the fact that they're playing against the wind.
He's put it quite high, and especially with these stands in play, they'll do well to keep the kicks low, especially going into this corner here. Look at that kick pass from Abdul Malik. Went right off the toe.
Back, 10 meters back.
Here's the line out. Important stuff now from pretty nicely done. Abdin turning his body in the air. Good agility from the young flanker.
Number 7.
Here's Kumarasinghe driving forward. Another penalty advantage coming Trinity's way. And Malik knows he has a free play. Oh, and it's Sean Altaf, didn't give up. Altaf wanted it more. He ran into the back of the Royal defence but still managed to step past them. And the little chip by Abdul Malik may have resulted in the first Amana Bank try of the second half.
Well, once again, Royals defence from that chip kick found wanting. A wonderful chase by Sean Altaf. Thought he judged the bounce of the ball brilliantly well. You can have a look at that once again. Royal just not covering that chip kick well enough, you'd have to say. And Trinity, to their credit, have exploited it to perfection.
There is a gaping hole behind the first line of defense and the men at the back. Savista Fernando needed to be on that 5-meter line, and Sean Altaf touching down for an Amana Bank try, and this is fabulous from Trinity. 20-point lead now with the goal conversion to come. The easiest Altaf has been offered this game, and he has no problem. 2 added, 34-12, Trinity in the driving seat.
The goal conversion over from Sean Altaf, and he will convert his own try, completely pick the pocket of Savista Fernando, who completely overran that ball as well. And it's the 50th point for Sean Altaf in this tournament. He scored a couple of tries, and what's good to see from a Sri Lanka rugby point of view as well, not just from a Trinity point of view, Sudarshana, is that he's brought a running game to this encounter.
The move from fly after fullback has really released him to try and bring in his running game, and also likes to get that fend out as well, Shanika, which allows him to break the first tackle and get some momentum on the gain line.
Yes, he's got a nice long arm, and make sure he uses it as Ekanayaka gets a rare touch of the ball. Simak Shafiq
Number 6
opts for the grubber. It's not a great option, but Abdul Malik makes a mistake and converts it into one.
We got to go back to what you mentioned about the bounce of that ball. It's very difficult to judge in this surface. That was kept low. Malik would have done better to try and kick it out, use his footballing skills, but this is an opportunity and a half for Royal College.
It's like a 5th day pitch in goal, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yeah, that's right. It's spinning in there and off the pitch as well.
Well, in goal, Shanika, 3rd day is quite similar as well, but opportunity for Royal now.
Patrano off the back, gives it to Savista Fernando, who's the extra man in the line, and then he give a nice flat ball out to Jaidinu that time, but it's superb work again from the man on the spot. Looked like it was Dimat Ambepitia, the winger, getting in there for the turnover.
Zambepit is a wing, isn't it? For him to come to centre field and get himself in that position. Brilliant bit of work.
Azmir Fajadi not very happy with the life at the moment, Abdullah, and why would he be?
Take a look at Abepit here. Waited, and that Jayadinu needed to at least show the referee that he was making an attempt to release that ball. Nimsara, beg your pardon.
Yes, I just don't think he worked hard enough to place the ball away, isn't it? Sudarshan just hung on to it a bit longer, but take nothing away from Ambepitia. Timed his poach to perfection and got an important penalty for his team.
ThePapare is being warmed up on the sidelines. It could be because Ambepitia, who's gone to the ground.
I think that's Veeravangsha on the floor actually.
Veeravangsha was taken out in the first half itself.
He was struggling as well with what looked like a quadricep injury. It looks like there might have been a bit of a knee to the head there. Trinity's player is back on their feet.
Irik's injury time here at Sugathadasa. Some overseas visitors as well enjoying the rugby, schools rugby here. A lot of them get really surprised of the passion and the intensity schools rugby presents here in the island. Busy couple of months for Sri Lanka in rugby, Shanaka, the schools league of course, which will commence in the third week of April. But then third week of April we do have the New Zealand under 85s travelling to Sri Lanka as well for the second edition, and we really do hope that the Tuskers will be able to get the rose here in the second date.
Well, now they know what to expect from the New Zealand under 85s, and I'm sure there'll be more preparation going into this particular tour. Senuja Ranasinghe, who we haven't seen much of, Abdullah, he's been one of Royal's key players leading up to this game. Father Araliya, principal of Trinity College, he looks very concerned for his player coming off. See, Jayasena Sudarshana.
I have a feeling that's Ridma Nimnet, who's yes, Nimnet. There you go, that's the man who's
It looks like he lost his footing. If you can see that one again from our producers, looks like he lost his footing, and a lot of players have been losing their footing on this turf today.
A very difficult turf to try and adapt to, because you don't play much rugby in this kind of turf, and this is ideally for football, and there is a big roller that goes on this Shanaka, given that javelin shot put and also discus happens here at Sugathadasa. So concern for Trinity, they did an early change. They took Veeravansa out, put Ridma Nimnet in that number 12 position. Now they've had to try and make do with ThePapare is coming in. He's a speedster. That looks painful. Left leg of Nimnet.
Yeah, he was grimacing on the way down as well. Not sure whether it's the ankle or the knee, but it didn't look great. And Trinity now trying to give Royal a dose of their own medicine. It's the same maul and it's kept going, but Royal's defense excellent, as good as their attack in the maul.
Penalty advantage.
Udan Vijayakun, another advantage, and Abdul Malik with a lovely little chip. What handling from Shan Altaf. Held on to the ball. Juggled that one like he was a circus actor. Jayadinu may have been offside. And the chip kick works like a charm. Vijay Kun, lovely little pass, and Abdul Malik with the kick pass has plenty of men over. Shot out of gets another. Amana back try. And at the end of this game, Sudarshana, the marketing team at the Papare are going to send another invoice to Amana Bank, that's for sure.
Oh, fabulous work. The skipper doing it from the front. He's showcased that he's a reliable kicker. He's showcased that he's a runner. But now he's showcased that he's very, very able with his hands as well. Wonder whether the Trinity coaching staff is training him with a circus act for juggling as well. Sanaka Simak making the contact, but Altaf says, I can see the line. Amana back try for Trinity, 39-12 in the 45th minute. And Trinity College are looking at securing that elusive President's Trophy final. Murad Ramsini is going to be a happy man to be taken off that pedestal as the last knockout winning skipper if Trinity goes on like this.
So once again, Sudarshan, I think Manzil's role also is just freeing up Altaf, isn't it, from that fly half position. Pardon me, Malik. Again, just wonderful vision. You could see that he just looked up before he made that kick, saw that the entire Royal defense was extremely narrow. Simak did come across, but it was just far too late, and Altaf, wonderful ball skills to just have the composure to hold on to the ball and touch it down for his team.
Evin Jayasena. In fact, that was Amar Manzil, the number 11 position. And Malik will put this one into touch, give Royal an opportunity. There's still plenty of time left in this game, another 25 minutes or so.
Centre mark.
And Royal are never a team to go away. But it's a 27-point margin at the moment. That's 4 sevens.
Also, Trinity are minus number 12, and in defensive aspect, Shanaka, that's a key position. That's the man who's marshalling everything. So Trinity will want to make sure that they get that right.
Hamza Abdin does well to steal that line out, but Royal do equally well to charge down that box kick. And now they have a bit of turnover ball to do something with. They've looked a little shorn of ideas in attack as Senuja Ranasinghe gets a rare opportunity to run. Nice ball that time, but unfortunately spilled. And here's Paris with his first taste of finals rugby. Udan Vijayakun kicks the advantage away, but this Haspatirana is the man who's there alongside his senior player. There's a very flat pass from Simak to this Haspatirana. Referee Shankar Bekun says, let's play anyway. And here's Simak Shafiq, who thumps this one onto the running track.
So some trivia for the ones interested. Shanaka, last time Royal played in a final, that was in 2016 versus against Isipatana, ended up in the losing side, conceded 46 points. Last time Trinity played a final, which was last year, yet again against Isipatana, lost the all-important trophy in the last couple of minutes. But the Green Machine is not featuring in this final. These two teams, you mentioned last week, Shanaka, a dress rehearsal for the Rugby, and Trinity have really taken up the opportunity.
Well, our friend Abdullah Yusuf, I think, has cast one eye towards the end of the season, but there's plenty that can happen between now and then, Abdullah. So I think your team also needs to realize and keep playing, because they've never been a team to give up the ghost.
Well, they don't. Royal College doesn't have to look too far. Last season in the league, they were completely outmastered by Trinity. Here's Tisara Paris, the speedster.
Nice work from him, stepped inside. And lovely box, lovely kick pass once again from Malik. Giving his wingers plenty of time to get under it, but not enough time for the defense to align. As Ritika Veragama takes it forward, and that time it's chipped through again, and it's a try for Hamza Abdin. Looks like it's a try for Hamza Abdin. Ishan Kabekun awards it on the field, and this is turning out to be an absolute Amana Bank try fest for Trinity College. 44 points to 12.
It's a rout. It's a rout here at Sugathadasa. And Hamza Abdin, Kandy Silva didn't show the commitment he had to. Hamza Abdin wanted that ball more than anybody else. And Amara back try yet again, 44 points on the board. It's a big score in a final, Shanak. I think the record is 49, which Isipatana scored against St. Joseph's way back in 2022. That was at Royal Complex. We were completely flabbergasted as to how Isipatana completely swept St. Joseph's aside. Trinity, though, haven't had it easy against the Royalists, who have kept coming. Goal conversion from Sean Altaf. It's through. Fabulous day the skipper is having. If anybody had any doubt, this is a match winner.
Absolutely brilliant by the Trinity skipper. But again, the way Trinity have just exploited the back of that Royal defense with those chipped kicks, just cannot understand why Royal just haven't been able to read that much better. Again, on that occasion, Kandy Silva quite lackadaisical in his attempt to go for the ball. It's got to expect it now, isn't it? Because Udan Vijay is just peppering those little dabs from the base. And the chasers have definitely made maximum use of it.
Nicely done that time from Manzil, and now Evin Jayasena has one man to beat. ThePapare, can he get it away? Yes, he can. And Manzil will go in for a bang try. Another Amana bang try. Even the Trinity fans can scarcely believe it.
Well, that's the record. The record in a President's Trophy final, and for Trinity to get it against their Bradby rivals. This one already went into the history books as the first final between these Bradby rivals. But now Trinity are really writing it in red, gold, blue letters. Royal in tatters in defense. Evin Jayasena has been everywhere, has been a fabulous player. ThePapare with the offload, and Manzil goes all the way. It's going to be a long day for all of you who are blue gold fans, but Trinity have secured this one.
I think it's safe to say that Royal aren't coming back from this one, Abdullah. Don't like to call games before they end, but that gold conversion goes astray. But this will be an Easter Sunday kind of miracle if Royal resurrects themselves from here.
Yes, and you just sense the bounce of the ball is going Trinity's way as well, and they've deserved it, there's no doubt about it. Just wonderful skills, isn't it? The forwards, three quarters combining. You have a second row, realizing that there is his wing three outside. Again, wonderful support by Manzil to go for his second try. And Royal now just need to try and regather, because they will be meeting this team few more times as well. Don't want to give too much of a psychological advantage up as Simak collects that high ball, trying to launch a counter attack.
Royal have gone to the bench, and it looks like Lianage is on at scrum half to question the commitment on two of the last three tries where Royal had their pockets picked on the line. That's something that the coaching staff will not be too happy with, as Mudunkotu also now on the pitch for Royal, and Simak Shafiq injects himself into the line. Nice run from Nimsara. We haven't seen enough of him, and it was that knock forward, wasn't it, Abdullah? That's a nice burst straight through the middle.
No.
Saw plenty of that from Royal against Isipathana, but not enough here as Mudunkotua comes back off his left foot, straightens the angle. Pathrana now goes with his teammate. Karuna Vansa, who's come on, the starting hooker. Senaja Ranasinghe dragged down by Jaya. Lianage hands it off to another pod of forwards, and this is the most amount of ball Royal have managed to hold on to in the second half. Pathirana managed to keep him very much out of the game, Trinity. Lovely flat pass again from Ranasinghe. Just can't get past the first line of defense. Lianage now. Pumping forward is the big prop, and not rolling away is a call, and a welcome penalty for Royal.
Yes, Royal creating a few phases, inching forward. Trinity's defense standing tall. Simak opting to go to touch, which he does. It's about a 7-meter line out away from the try line. Have a look at that once again. Royal just trying to draw that Trinity defense in before going out wide, but Trinity, to their credit, have been fanning out extremely well. Just not rolling away is the call, so an opportunity here for Royal.
Good run from Karunawansa, and now Bandar to throw in. Sorry, it was Karunawansa to throw in. It's not a great line out, and this is where Royal have faltered. Their line out hasn't helped them today. As Patrana close to the Ryan is deadly. Keeps going. Gets into the 5-meter line. Just a couple of meters short, Royal.
Penalty advantage. Offside.
Offside very clearly from Veragama there. Squirted forward. But Royal will tap and go. Yes, Patrana. Wrong footing the defense. Almost to the line. This is Patrana. And just trying to reach it forward. It's been knocked forward, and Ishan Kabekon has blown the whistle, so they won't be able to counter attack.
Ajaya thought he could set this flag all the way. This is Patirana. We spoke about how he was going to be an absolute key player for Royal College, and Trinity have done their homework very well. Every time Patirana got ball in hand, there have been two men going and hitting on him, not letting him go forward and not letting him give front foot ball to his supporters, and that has really affected.
I also think Royal have probably missed the trick. I don't think Patrana should be the one to take the first hit, isn't it? I think it'd do well to let someone else do that, and for him to take it off the following phase where he can run against a bit more of a unstructured defense. It's something which had worked well in the previous match. I think it was against CC Patrana where he scored a wonderful try. He took the first hit. There was a phase that followed where someone else took the following hit, and then from that the third phase he took and went over. So he's probably trying to lead from the front, but probably will just need to step back and let some others take a bit of load off him as well.
Kavin the Jayasena looking on proudly in that Trinity camp, as Trinity have a defending scrum. Lianage pops across to the blind side to defend. Confused about that rule, Sudarshana. We need to have a look at that one. When the scrum half moves away from the 1 meter area around the scrum, does he have to retire 5 meters? He can stay in the line.
He can stay in the line. Scrum half can. The rest of the players need to keep that distance.
Wait.
Navin Jayasena being called to the bench after a fabulous game. Absolute brilliant shift, and also Vihanga Indusara, Ritika Veragama, Trinity emptying their bench.
Advantage.
That sack though was a little too slow. Achinta Jayasena versus the culprit.
Shankar Bekun not liking the timing of that sack, as Disas Patrana does well to get his little short ball away to Ekanayaka. Little Cheslin Colby type winger on this left wing for Royal, but he has had precious little ball to do anything with. Senujarana Singh now. Senior man trying to spark something for his team. Here's the captain. Runs like a Trojan straight through the center of the Trinity defense.
Back, roll away.
Royal picking and going.
Go back, last foot.
Trinity will be happy with this, as Disas Patrana now finds himself in center field. Needs to offload the ball, but takes it to the floor. And once again, Karunawansa. Yatavara loses the ball. He lost it on the try line, lost it again, but doesn't matter this time, because there was a penalty coming for the sack.
Another thing Trinity will be delighted about is the fact that they've only conceded 2 tries, Shanaka, off mauls. Otherwise, their defensive line has held, and that's something we spoke about pre-game as well. The amount of points that they've leaked, and they've done their work very well here. They've played 2 steps better than they played the semi-final, and which is why they've managed to amass this 51 points with little possession from Royal College.
Yes, and also another impressive aspect of this Trinity team, you'd have to say, is what they played, what is in front of them, isn't it? They've realized that Royal do shoot up. They've understood that there's probably a bit of space at the back, and I thought Udan Vijay, his reading of the situation has been brilliant. With those little dings ahead, have created at least 3 to 4 tries in this game and have put Royal on the back foot.
Yes, the halves combination has been head and shoulders above any of the other players, 9 and 10. Altaf has scored a few tries, but these guys have created a lot. Kevin Veerakun holds on to that ball, and that's a clear penalty.
Much to be decided from Veerakun that time. Didn't even try to paint the picture of him letting the ball through. And seems like Jayadunu will get the third Amana Bank try for Royal College. Something to cheer for the Reed Avenue faithful. They haven't had much to cheer about. The Trinitians are cheering as well.
But he came out of nothing. Jayadunu and Nimsara haven't been able to combine as a pairing, but they're very good individual players. Lovely little right-footed step. And despite losing a part of his trousers, manages to get the ball down. And there has been a yellow card issued to Abdul Malik. Not sure what that was for, if we can see the replay.
Time back on.
As not 10 meters is the call. And Hiruka Jayadinu gets a long awaited try. An Amana Bank score for Royal, and the goal conversion is good from Simak Shafiq.
There's a bit of respectability to the score, but yet Trinity streets ahead, you'd have to say. And Shanaga, dare I say, they definitely look like the team to beat this season, isn't it? Coming in as defending league champions. It's going to take a bit of an effort for schools to stop this Trinity juggernaut this season.
Well, what's more impressive for me, gentlemen, is the fact that the Trinitians have had to travel 4 weeks back to back to Colombo, and that they are the only team who've done that, and they've managed to go the distance. And with 9 minutes to go, like we mentioned, they've showcased that they are a very well conditioned team. With the heat currently, it's very difficult to try and put your A game, but Trinitians have managed to do very well. Look at Achinta Jayasena in this 62nd minute, still chasing that ball.
I'm sure St. Thomas's will be happy to offer some accommodation if you leave some of your players behind, Sudarshana, if the travel is taking its toll. But Royal can't try and close this gap by picking and going in their 22, so they'll need to do exactly this. Jayadinu, the try scorer, spotting the gap, stepping nicely, and he's got the support now. Just couldn't find Ekanaik on his right. Here's Havage now. I haven't seen him with the ball in hand too much. Lianage. Karunawansa. Numbers on the outside, but can they get it to them? Now they can. Lovely little inside ball from Shafiq. It's slow from Royal. They'll want a little bit more pace on this ball as this Aspatirana tries to win the high tackle penalty. Ekanayaka dancing through a thicket of Trinity defenders there. This is good from Royal. Sarajana Singh bursts through. Needs support. Good ball for this Aspatirana, who opts to give it this time. Nice show and go that time by Royals Rani Duhiran. Inside the 22 now, the opposite 22.
Advantage over.
Here's Patirana. Gets the ball away to Ekanayaka this time. Ekanayaka stepping back. Makes it available nicely. It's fast ball, but Royal stand around watching it.
No, ball.
Karunawansa.
Last foot, go back, go back.
Senator Ranasinghe at this time trying to
Release,
wriggle
tackle,
his
release.
way out of that tackle, but Nisit Kumarasinghe holds on for dear life.
Hands up.
Disaspatrana stands and tries to deliver but gets pushed back. Vikramaratne. Vikramaratne goes again. It's quick ball, but they need a latcher. This is good from Royal, inching their way towards the line. Nahil Jaya just can't get his hands on that ball, but they manage to turn it over.
Offside. Offside.
Coming through the gate is the call from Ishan Kabekun that time, and Royal desperately take it quickly.
Back.
Interesting,
Go back,
Shanika,
go
why
back.
Royal are not
Last
looking to
foot.
spread Trinity
Back.
because they are minus their number 10 as well. One man in the bin. 14 against 15 advantage. Did look like there was a lost forward there. Royal not very convincing getting up from that. And I think Shanika inching closer to try awarded. Amana Bank try number 4 for Royal College. Consolation scores coming in for the Tuskers. The ball was dislodged and collected cleanly, no problem there.
Dislodged in the tackle, so it's certainly not a knock forward. And the Royal player looked like it might have been Hanifa that time, who went over for that Amana Bank try and the goal conversion to come. In fact, it was Metike Atavara who is the replacement hooker.
Royal now putting some respectability to the scoreline. 24 points to 51 reads much better than 12 points to 51. And Shanika, with 5 minutes to go, I think it's a good time to start discussing on Swiss Tech Perfect Player of the Match, which will give some
8,
time for
8.
our production team to try and spot the lad as well. While there are some obvious players who have really put their hands up, the half combination for Trinity and also the skipper who has been absolutely instrumental. I'd like to really make a mention about Nahil Jaya as well, who has been absolutely fabulous alongside Achinta Jayasena and Hamza Abdeen and Nisit Kumarasinghe, who has put in a real great workload, because it was a battle between the two forward packs and Trinity have absolutely bossed it.
They have completely dominated that particular upfront battle, Sudarshana, that's true. Dima Tabepiti also with a couple of tries. Here's Shan Altaf. It's gone backwards. In fact, no, they're playing under advantage. So, just as we say, the skipper has been good. We've put the curse on him.
But yet again, if you look at that ball bounce, Shanika, he was anticipating that ball to go to his right. But then suddenly the ball turns on to his left shoulder.
Forward.
I think there's been a lot of chatter on social media about the suitability of the grounds. And it's what we see on TV, isn't it, Sudarshan? You can see the dust clouds coming up. Obviously, the grounds are dry because it's been such hot weather recently. But there's unseen stuff in this, like rolled ankles, balls not bouncing properly, potential knee injuries on grounds that are not built for rugby. So there's that aspect also. It looks pretty and it looks green, but that's not all that glitters, isn't gold, as it were.
Keep your mind. Play on.
Ranasinghe moving to the back in the absence of this Aspatrana, who has been substituted. Abdullah, you called for that earlier on, so that there's not too much of a psychological advantage surrendered to Trinity.
Play on.
Nicely done at the breakdown. But for me, Sudarshana, it's between Udan Vijay Kon and Abdul Malik. Nimsara tries to rescue something for his team. They've held him up in the maul.
Ball is available.
Just while the two halfbacks have been fabulous for Trinity College, who've created a lot of opportunity. I think difficult to look away from the skipper himself as well, who's created some very good momentum. I think it's going to be a difficult one, and with us talking about the backs, Shanaka being forwards, I think the only back in this setup needs to air out his opinion.
Well, Sudarshan, you mentioned virtually the entire Trinity pack in the lead up to us trying to make this decision, but I just think Udan Vijay has been brilliant. Just his chip kicks from the base, the way he has read the game, he's been brilliant, and for me it is his decision making that has constantly put Trinity on the front foot as well as put Royal under a lot of pressure. So since you are giving it to me, my man of the match, Swiss Tech perfect man of the match rather, would be Trinity's scrum half, Udan Vijay.
No protest there, Shanak. I think
absolutely not. It takes a lot for me to agree that a scrum half is the man of the match, but this has been a superb distributive performance from him. Now Paris gives Shan Altaf a hat-trick.
Well, now we need to rethink.
No, we don't. No, we don't. But what a brilliant bit of work. If you give a joint man of the match award to Abdul Malik and Udan Vijay for what has been a superb halves combination today. They've kicked from everywhere, and they've kicked intelligently, they've kicked effectively, and Paris hands off to his captain, who needs no second invitation for his hat-trick of prize.
Well, in the Bradbury folklore, there is one game which is called the Reed Avenue Massacre. Back in 2011, Murad Ramsin lost the first leg, came back to Royal Complex, won the second leg with a thumping score. He was the last man who lifted the trophy for Trinity College, and what massacre it has been here at Sugathadasa. Trinity College coming all trumps and gets the goal conversion as well. 58 points to 26. And Trinity College Kandy are your Dialog Schools Knockout President Trophy champions of 2026. Shan Altaf will be the man hoisting that trophy.
Deservedly so, you'd have to say. What a brilliant performance it's been by this Trinity College outfit. Completely outplaying Royal, you'd have to say. I thought the tactical acumen of this Trinity team has been brilliant. The skill level, the ball handling, the ability to read the game has been top-notch, and you'd have to say absolutely deserved champions of the President's Trophy for 2026. And I tell you, it's going to take some stopping this Trinity team this year.
Well, they really have laid down the gauntlet, not just to Royal College for the Bradby, but for every other school that is watching this knockout competition. My goodness, what a wonderful performance to put to bed a Royal team that really kept improving, as we said before the kickoff, game by game. This is not by any means a Royal team that should lose by more than 30 points, but Trinity College have put in the kind of performance, especially in this game, that deserves this win. And doff your hat to this coaching staff, Abdullah. They've looked at the games and they've understood exactly where Royal's weakness were, and you have to understand that you have to train that, and eventually it's the players that need to go out there and execute that. But the coaching staff, I think they've been very brave. They've given their players a license to go out and throw the ball around. There were a few drop balls early on, but they were throwing it around like it was a hot potato, like it was a game of pass the parcel at a kiddies party. But that's what eventually got them out on the outside of these Royal defenders and got them to the score.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pretty much a complete performance. I thought the way they read the game, especially offensively, was really good. Just those chip kicks ahead, they identified Royal's weakness probably in those amongst the back three, and just the way they exploited it was absolutely brilliant. And what a day Shan Altaf had as well. It's at the beginning of his career, we just saw him as a really good kicking fly half, isn't it? But over the last season, and of course this year, he has definitely expanded his game, as Sudarshana mentioned, him moving to that fullback position. No doubt that man, Fazil Marja, would have definitely had a big influence on the way Altaf has played. What a player he was during his time. And just can see a very relieved man, isn't it, Sudarshana? Been a tough year for him at the start with the club season, but the way he has molded this Trinity team over the last couple of years has been really good, and they're definitely benefiting and reaping the rewards of those efforts.
Well, there were plenty of mini battles that went behind this game as well, apart from it being, of course, a dress rehearsal for the Rugby. Fasil Marija, despite winning the league last year, arguably the most coveted prize, Bradby was surrendered back to Royal College, and then came the club season where he went head on head with Dushant Leuke. 3 games as Kandy coach, all 3 games surrendered to CRNFC. So this one was a crunch one for Fasil, and he's come up trumps in this one. But for Royal, despite the disappointment, they don't have to look too far. Like I mentioned, Shanaka, just last year, Trinity completely outnumbering Royal, outsmarting Royal in the league game, but Bradby first leg, they came up trumps. As we take a look at the highlights of the day, first try was scored by Kevin Virakon in that outside channel where Trinity kept hitting. It was Royal who immediately responded just over a minute, and Simak Shafiq taking the goal conversion and putting them in the lead.
Listen, just the ball movement of the Trinity backs as well, particularly in that first half. For Shan Altaf, we had a mixed day with the boot by his high standards, but he was absolutely brilliant in open play, and then the Trinity forwards and 3 quarters combining, and Royal once again found wanting out wide. Good, probably the only positive was Royal's driving maul, again coming back to its full effect, and the team will definitely need much more of that as this season progresses. But this man, Abdul Malik, what a game he had with regard to those cross kicks. It's been well rehearsed, you can see, and Shan Altaf himself just capitalizing. Wonderful bit of work. It's wonderful skill, isn't it, Shan? The ability to read the defense as well. They probably realized Royal's rush defense is going to cause them a problem, but the solution they came up with was top notch, and once again just realized Royal's defense behind that first line of defense rather was found wanting, and Trinity repeatedly executed brilliantly, and Shan Altaf 3 tries, 4 tries, what a game he has, and he'll now lift the trophy as well.
Well, it's one thing, Abdullah, like you mentioned, to recognize there is space and opportunity, but it's another to execute. So Abdul Malik and Udan Vijayakon, absolute credit to those 2 men, and this really wraps up the defensive performance from Royal in this game, with an area that they absolutely aced. Trinity running from kickoff, and Mansil touching down.
Paris would have wanted that ball a little earlier to try and run it in himself, but this was Jayadinu coming back with a consolation try for Royal. Resulted in a yellow card for Malik as well for not being 10 meters, and in the end, after a dislodging of the ball in the tackle, Royal managing to score their final try, and that was not the end, as Trinity managed once again through Paris to get the offload away, and Shan Altaf to get yet another feather in his cap. And That kick squirting around.
That's lovely to see, isn't it? That's the camaraderie that you'll want to see. The two skippers hugging it out as we look at the keys. That 10 try final from Trinity. Only converted 4. It didn't matter. As Royal, though, had a very good day with the boot. Simak Shafiq off the tee. However, off the hand kicking is something Royal would have wanted him to do a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the skill level of the Trinity backs in terms of skill level coupled with the decision making. I think that was what set both teams apart. Royal today in attack probably a bit too one-dimensional than what they would normally be. But Trinity, on the other hand, had a lot of variety in their attack as well, wasn't it, Shanaka? They kicked, they made use of turnover ball when they had to. And the skill level, the understanding, the ability to read what's in front of them was just miles ahead of whatever Royal could offer.
And Royal have been fairly predictable in that sense, isn't it, Abdullah? Because they know, going in against Royal, you know that you're going to really get a really strong upfront defensive performance. And this time they managed to keep Royal's defense guessing. They couldn't shoot up, they couldn't use their line speed, they couldn't use that great tackle technique that they have because the ball was never in the hands of the Trinity players for long enough. They kept passing it along and they made sure that the kicks that they had to turn that defense around. And what this will also do is it will send a message to a lot of the other coaches that this is one tactic that can be used. And that's why I'm really impressed by Fazil Marija, because we remember him playing for Kandy and for Sri Lanka. He was never a kicking fly half. He was not a guy that used his little chips. He will always use his slate of foot and his speed and his power. But to be able to instruct a player that this is how you're going to win this game and this is how you execute that skill, that shows a real thought process into the game and a real high degree of preparation.
Absolutely, but you also need to keep in mind you need to have the players to do that, isn't it? And in Uda and Vijay Code, as well as Malik and of course Shan Altaf, wonderful kickers of the ball as well, the ability to make that decision at the correct time.
While we talk about the tactics that had been used, Shanak, I think Royal anticipated Trinity to be kicking deep, like they did with Wesley, where they tried and put pressure, a lot of pressure on Abdul Fawaz. But here, Trinity recognized the fact that Royal will be ready for that. Khayan De Silva, Simak Shafiq, all were setting up deep in anticipation of that ball, but Savista Fernando had to do better to try and marshal that middle phase, didn't he? And that was something that Trinity spotted, and like Abdullah mentioned, the players having the skill to try and execute and really pounce on those balls.
We'll be back with the presentation ceremony of the Dialog Schools Knockout Trophy, the President's Trophy to Trinity College after this break.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
NDB Leasing. බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන්. Electric, hybrid, petrol, diesel ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බරයකින් leasing. NDB Leasing. NDB බැංකුව.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
කිචන් එක අපාස් කරන්නේ දැන් වයිෆුත් හැපි එකේ ඉන්නේ. වයිෆ් හැපි කරන්න කිචන් එක අපාස් කරන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සිහින විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
That was summer refresh when the train got to go.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth ekata go ekak.
Let's KFC.
Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
එතකොට මහත්යාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි? අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
NDB Leasing. බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන්. Electric, hybrid, petrol, diesel ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බර එකේ leasing. NDB Leasing. NDB බැංකුව.
Captain Cool.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසි කූල්.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සිහින විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
Saratona enjoy කරන්න party එකට go.
Black Night Go Pocket Perfume. Youth ekata go ekak.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Abans fridge කියන්නේ පවුලට හරිම ෆ්‍රිජ් එකක්. Abans family එකට හරියන අපේ රටේ ෆ්‍රිජ් එක.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
NDB Leasing බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රික් හයිබ්‍රිඩ් පෙට්‍රල් ඩීසල් ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බරේකේ ලීසින් NDB Leasing NDB බැංකුව
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Well, it's presentation time here at the Dialog Schools Knockout Tournament. The President's Trophy has been won, and I have to say has been comprehensively won by Trinity College, who came out and absolutely smashed Royal College, who were expected to be contenders for the final. Abdullah Yusuf, we've lost Sudarshan Apiris to the on-field melee, but a deserved win for Trinity in the end.
Absolutely. Scoreline pretty much says it all, isn't it? Absolutely dominant performance by Trinity. Tactically brilliant execution was top-notch. And you have to say they completely outplayed Royal today. Just feel that this team is going to take some stopping, isn't it, Shanaka, during this season. Just the understanding of the game, the brilliance, the class, the ability to make the correct decision at the correct time. All those points coming into playing this performance today, and they're going to be a very hard team to stop this year.
Sadish Veeravangsi in the center of your screen there. His smile is not as big as the rest of his teammates because he knows that he was injured and had to come off in that game, so feels that he may not have been able to play as big a part as he would have liked in this wonderful victory. But as you said, this team is going to take some stopping, Abdullah, but now that they've won a trophy in such convincing fashion so early on in the season, Fazil Marija is going to be, how do I keep these players on the ground? How do I make sure they don't get ahead of themselves? That's Sudarshan Apiris with the winning captain. Of course, he's taken a leave of absence from the commentary box to make sure he gets a very, very important selfie with someone who is going to be a generational talent and a talking point in Trinity for long years to come.
Yes, what a game the skipper had today as well. Reached the Royal defense no less than 4 occasions. And it's just amazing to see. This his first 2 years, he was pretty much a kicking fly half, wasn't it? But his game has evolved, particularly over the last 2 seasons. And you just feel that this could be the season where he just absolutely dominates schools rugby. And it's going to be interesting to see how he performs for the rest of the season.
Well, I feel he's just going to get better, Abdullah, because I don't think he's finished growing as yet. I still think he's got a little bit of time to get some more muscle on him. But he's got the confidence now to bring on the counter-attack from when he takes those high balls at the back. And certainly fly halves are going to be very wary about kicking to him. The presentation party is ready and we'll hand over to them.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I please have your attention? A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me try it once again. A very good evening. Wonderful. How's the spirit in house? Good? But I heard so much of energy when you all were cheering. But what about the energy right now? Not good enough, but I'm sure in time to come, we will get started. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring an exciting day of Dialog Schools Rugby to a close, it's that moment we all come together to celebrate the achievements of our young talents, our young warriors, the courage they showcased on field this evening. So I believe I wouldn't do justice to them if I do not request all of you all together with me right at the start to give a thunderous cheer to both teams. Not good enough. Give it up for Trinity College and Royal College. Now, it's that moment we celebrate them on stage. So, I'm sure the audience will agree with me when they come on stage. giving them due respect, we will still keep the cheers and applause going. As parents, as families, as teachers, as friends, as colleagues, we are here to support both teams together, even if they are runners-up or champions. I'm sure you'll agree with me right at the start, and having that in mind, let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. As a testament to its unwavering commitment to nurturing young spirits, young talent, to shoulder them right throughout, to shape champions of tomorrow, Dialog Asiata PLC, Sri Lanka's #1 connectivity partner and also a prolific promoter of school sport. So give it up for Dialog Asiata PLC, who powers the Dialog Schools Rugby Knockouts 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, we gather this evening for the President's Trophy Finals. Now, alongside that, could I have one applaud as well, as we have co-sponsors who has made this evening a resounding success. So joining with me, please, a round of applause to Usvata, Iodex, Haley's Mobility and Hemas. Thank you very much. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the award presentation. Firstly, let's start off with the medal presenters to both teams. May I invite the following dignitaries to come on stage. Mr. Chanaka Dhananjaya, Treasurer of Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. Mr. Aki Brial, Head of Brands at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mr. Riyaf Hanifa, Head of Operations at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mr. Nirodha Vijayarama, All Tournament Secretary to Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. Mr. Dilruk Jayavardhana, the Deputy Director to the Ministry of Education. Can you kindly come on stage, gentlemen and ladies? Mrs. Sureka Sirivardhana, the Director to the Ministry of Education. Mr. Shanura Pereira, the Managing Director of Usvata Confectionaries. Mr. Sahan Kulatunga, the Deputy General Manager at Usvata Confectionaries. Mr. Manoj Balakrishnan, Assistant Brand Manager of Halion Lanka Private Limited, and Mr. Hasita Prematilaka at Haley's Fentons Limited. One more individual to join us on stage, ladies and gentlemen. The Deputy President of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association, Mr. Priyantha Kumarasiri. A round of applause to our award presenters. We'll start off firstly by inviting our runner-up team on stage for the award presentation. And this is the medal presentation. So, can I hear you cheering the runner-up team while they come on stage to receive their medal with great pride right at this moment? But before that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll invite the following dignitaries to come forward. May I invite Mr. Nirodha Vijayarama, Mr. Dilruk Jayavardhana, Mr. Riyaf Hanifa, and Mr. Hasita Prematilaka, Mr. Sahan Kulatunga to kindly come forward for the medal presentation to our runner-up team. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen, for our runner-up team, Royal College Colombo. The applause going. Come on. The cheers, the applause, they deserve it for their courage, strength and unity they maintained on this field. please remain on stage as now we move on to the champion medal presentation. May I invite the following dignitaries to join us and please come forward as well. Mrs. Surekha Sirivardhana, Mr. R.K. Brial, Mr. Chanaka Dhananjaya, Mr. Manoj Balakrishnan, Mr. Shanura Pereira and Mr. Priyantha Kumara Siri. Ladies and gentlemen, with a thunderous round of applause, please give it up for our champions as they come on stage for their medal presentation. Here comes the team, ladies and gentlemen, Trinity College. Goes out to our award presenters for joining us on stage. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause to our award presenters? Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the trophies and special awards. To present these special awards and trophies this evening, I would like to invite the following dignitaries to join us on stage. Honorable Nalaka Kaluvavu, the Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education. Mr. Lasanda Thevera Peruma, Group Chief Marketing Officer at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mr. Kamal Arya Singha, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Mrs. Udara T. Dikubura, the Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Inspector General of the Police of Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyantha Veerasuriya. Mr. Buddhika Attanayaka, the President to the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. Mr. Harsha Samaranayaka, Vice President, Group Marketing at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mr. Manuja Nimmana, Secretary to School Rugby Football Association. And also joining us on stage, can I have the principals of Trinity College and Royal College joining us on stage. A round of applause to our next award presenters, ladies and gentlemen. Awards, ladies and gentlemen, start off with Best Player of the Match. May I invite the following dignitaries to come forward to present the Best Player of the Match award. Mr. Harsha Samaranayaka, Vice President, Group Marketing at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mrs. Udara T. Dikubura, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Mr. Manuja Nimmana, Secretary for Schools Rugby Football Association. Now, Best Player of the Match award goes to number 9. Udan Vijayakot from Trinity College, Kandy. Congratulations to you, Udan Vijayakot, best player of the match. Congratulations to you once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to the runner-up trophy. May I invite the following dignitaries to kindly come forward as I mention your name. Mr. Lasantha Tevera Peruma, Group Chief Marketing Officer at Dialog Asiata PLC. Mr. Kamal Arya Singha, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Inspector General of Police, Sri Lanka, Mr. Priyantha Veerasurya. Ladies and gentlemen, team spirit, courage, and the strength, speed, that's what we witnessed on this field. So, with due respect, let's give it up for our runner-up team. May I invite the captain to come on stage to receive the trophy. Royal College, Colombo. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, but please remain on stage because we have the Champions Trophy to be also be presented, but remain on stage. Rugby is not only a sport. It is a game of discipline. It is a game that you showcase your true power. And I'm sure both teams have done it exceptionally. With no doubt, that's why so much of love, so much of respect is received from this amazing audience present with us here as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's that moment. We present the Champions Trophy. May I invite the following dignitaries to kindly come forward. Honorable Nalaka Kaluvava, the Secretary to the Ministry of Education. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep the applause going for our award presenters. Mr. Lasantha Tevera Peruma, Group Chief Marketing Officer at Dialog Asiata PLC. And Mr. Buddhika Attanayaka, President to Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. To receive the Champions Trophy, I invite the captain on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause to only the captain, only the captains. All right, they are going to come on stage. Trust me on that. They are going to come on stage. Trust me on that point. Ladies and gentlemen, our champions, Trinity College, Kandy. All right. Thank you very much to our award presenters for joining us on stage.
Well, what jubilant scenes when we eventually got there for Trinity to hoist this trophy. They played 70 minutes of rugby. Might have thought they'd have to stand around for an hour more to actually hold the trophy, but they've got it finally. And they came so close to this crown last year. Uwindu Kotituakku spoiled that party, but there's not going to be anyone spoiling this party for Sean Altaf and his team. Fazil Marija and his coaching team have outsmarted, and Sean Altaf and his team have out-executed their opponents today. and they've certainly thrown down the gauntlet for all the other schools following. And before the league tournament starts, there will be a couple of coaches who scratch their heads and go right back to the drawing board to see what can we do to stop this Trinity team. For Trinity, it'll be how can they replicate this outstanding performance. But it has been a superb evening of rugby if you are a blue, gold and red wearing fan. If you're not, it has still been a superb bit of entertainment. Some outstanding tries. Viraj Prasantha is lifted high by his forwards, and why not? Because the forwards did exceptionally well today. And that brings us to the end of what has been a superb tournament to kick off this 2026 schools rugby season, as Fazil Marija lifts the trophy with his team. We'll leave you with those abiding images as we wish Trinity a safe journey back up to Kandy. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to Royal College, who fought well but were just completely overrun by a superlative performance tactically and strategically. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are in the world. And just a reminder of what went on today if you somehow conspired to miss this game. 58 points to 26. Royal scoring a couple of late tries to put some respectability in that scoreline. But the first column, 10 tries to 4, is where the entire difference was made. A superb performance from Shan Altaf at the back, from Abdul Malik at number 10, and of course Udan Vijayakun, who is our Swiss Tech player of the match for some great decision making and putting Trinity in exactly the driving seat that they needed to be. They never took their foot off the accelerator. Thank you very much for joining us on the Papare. We'll be back with lots more rugby action as the league tournament commences. But for now, it's Trinity College's evening, and a happy Easter to everyone watching. We'll see you very soon.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll out.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක ක්‍රිකට් නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග
live broadcast from the Papare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.
ගෙවන් යන්න ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න ලොකු පොඩි හැම ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න හොඳම ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Kitchen එක අබාස් කරන්නේ wife happy again. Wife happy කරන්න. Kitchen එක අබාස් කරන්න.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
NDB Leasing බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රික් හයිබ්‍රිඩ් පෙට්‍රල් ඩීසල් ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බරේකේ ලීසින් NDB Leasing NDB බැංකුව
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Let's KFC. Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
NDB Leasing බාපු ගමන් නැවෙන් ලීසින් එක අපෙන් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රික් හයිබ්‍රිඩ් පෙට්‍රල් ඩීසල් ඕනම වාහනයකට නොම්බරේකේ ලීසින් NDB Leasing NDB බැංකුව
Pain can pause your active life. Get the all-new Woo Pain Relief Spray for fast, long-lasting pain relief.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
Experience what it means to have true peace of mind with NDB credit cards. NDB credit cards, the advantage in your wallet.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.